Hello.
Hello. I'm feeling really good about this. Mm. So we're just gonna wait a couple more minutes
Okay.
just to get everybody in situated.
Hi, Dania. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Maddie. Hello. Hi, Devan. Hello. I know everyone's joining.
A lot of members in your club.
I know.
Mm.
Okay. What time is it? Should we get started?
Yeah, sure. Let's start. Hello, everybody. Today we're gonna discuss different methods for building better sleep schedules and how to get a good night's sleep. So thank you for joining us. A few words about us before we begin. We're both interns working with Connect OC. I'm Ahredan, and I'm joined here with my host, Raneen. Uh, Connect OC is a coalition dedicated to increasing accessibility to mental health services for Orange County transitional age youth, young adults, TAY/YA, and their families by networking them to local community mental health resources. Find out more at connectoc.org. The Connect OC Coalition is funded by the Orange County Healthcare Agency, Behavioral Health Services, Prevention and Intervention through the Mental Health Services Act/Prop 63. Just a quick note, we are not mental health professionals. Our focus today is going to be discussing different ways of building better sleep schedules. But if there's anyone who has any questions that are perhaps a bit more clinical and would benefit from the advice of a mental health professional, uh, we encourage you to take a look at our resources, which we are going to list out shortly. And if you would like to know more or need more information, just visit connectoc.org. Again, that is connectoc.org. So, hello, Raneen. How are you?
Hello. I'm doing good. How are you? So
Yeah.
some resources that we want to mention is cdc.gov, and they have a lot of sleep resources for anyone who has issues going to sleep. Also, a really good one was health management by Kaiser. They have a lot of really cool exercises to do on there, and also a lot of ways to help you fall asleep. And to get started, um, we a lot of times we don't necessarily give our sleep schedule so much attention, and which we should, because when you don't get enough sleep, it can be really detrimental to your mental health, and that should be at the top of the list of priorities. When you're in a busy schedule, when you're a student or anything else, getting enough sleep helps you function. And I actually want to know, I'll ask this to you too. How many hours of sleep do you usually get? And also, people who are viewing, they can answer this as well. Um, so, how many hours of sleep do
Well,
you get?
well, it depends. If there's too many assignments, I can barely get 5 hours of sleep, but I try to get 8 hours at the very least. most days. What about you?
I try to get in at least like 7 hours of sleep, but yeah, exactly. Like
Hmm.
when you're staying up late at night and you're on your laptop, because you're all working on your laptops and trying to do
Yeah,
projects, essays, like essay writing. I know everyone tends to like stay up late and write their essays, and just like you want to get that sleep, but also you feel like you have so much that you have to do. And
yeah,
the thing is just like getting that sleep in a way is like a little bit more important. Like your health should be your main priority, but also that doesn't mean that you should like slack off on all your assignments and
yeah,
just push it over and it's like I'm just gonna sleep. But just like trying to formulate like a good schedule or like have a cutoff time. Like my usual
mhm,
cutoff time is at 11 p.m. at night. I try not to stay up doing any homework or anything past that, but some days I end up doing that. Um, and it's really bad. Um, so after that, I would like to. Oh, you already answered this. You would like to try to get 8 hours of sleep, right?
yeah, definitely.
Like, I wish I can sleep more than that. Like, I wish I can sleep at least like 9 to 10 hours. Like, that sounds so nice, and how people can actually achieve that is just like it's just amazing. Because for me to do that, I probably have to sleep at like 9 p.m. and like that's like so impossible for me to do. Um,
Yeah, yeah, same here. I just can't, get my biological clock wired that way. You know, I just can't. Um, so if you do want to get, 8 hours or even 9 hours of sleep a day, what are some steps that we can take, in order to achieve that? Uh, Firstly, I would suggest, uh, you know, some tips that I would suggest would be refraining from taking caffeine, you
that's a
know,
big one for me.
especially late in the evening. That's just, one of the worst things that we can do. And I have implemented that into my schedule, honestly. So yeah, that has helped. That has really helped. Do you
Yeah.
take caffeine?
Oh. Do I drink caffeine?
Yeah.
I love coffee, but like I do try not to have it at night. But sometimes I'm just like, ooh, I'm kind of craving like a coffee, but I try not to do that because it's so bad whenever I do that, and it's like I end up staying up, and I really don't like it. So whenever I do try to have like coffee or anything that's caffeine, like with tea, I try to have that in the morning or like late in the afternoon, not so much late, but
Hmm.
yeah, it's like the one big one because I know a lot of people. They're like, okay, I have to stay up. Let me just drink all
Hmm.
this caffeine, and like
Yeah.
you end up staying up until like 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. But what if you have
Hmm.
class at like 9 a.m. and
Yeah.
that's like a problem.
Hmm.
Um, and then so another way that I've tried to implement that was like just like trying to like not also like to not eat so much also before going to bed. Um,
Right.
Sometimes you do get like, a little hungry, like a late night snack, but like that can be like those can be like healthy options. Not something that has like
Hmm.
sugar, caffeine, um,
Yeah.
anything that's like saturated like fats. Like try to
Hmm.
eat like some fruits. There's like a lot of like fruits like cherries. Cherries have like natural melatonin,
Yeah.
so they can actually help you go to sleep. Um,
Hmm.
and a lot of other things. So that's what I've been trying to implement, and it's been helpful. Like I like if I want to create if I want to eat something at night, I'll stop myself. It's just like I know I'm
Yeah.
gonna like I know I'm not gonna end up falling asleep fast enough. So yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. One of the other things that I found out really helped was getting enough sunlight. Did you know about that?
Hmm.
Like stepping out, especially during the day instead of being cooped up at home, has really improved my sleep schedule. Like you go out and you get active, exercise also helps. So yeah, but one thing that I found out is that you shouldn't exercise late in the evening because you get really pumped up and you are more alert due to the release of testosterone and adrenaline, and that keeps you awake at night. That kept me awake at night when I used to exercise. So I've changed that.
Okay, so before we continue that, I know some more people have joined, and I would like to say that at the end of this live, or whenever you end up leaving it towards the end, if you please can check out Connect OC's Instagram on their bio. There will be a link for you to do a survey, and after you do that survey, you will be receiving an Amazon gift card. which that is so amazing. So please, that would like mean so much to me if you would do that. Okay. So continuing our conversation, yeah, like I notice a lot of people they like tend to work out at night, and I'm like so amazed because like after like I do any workout, even if I'm walking, getting sunlight, like I feel like my energy levels completely like skyrocket. Like I feel so much more energetic. I feel um like pumped up, and I just like how can you just knock out his sleep after that? Yeah, so I was just like I'm just, but also sometimes that's like the only time people have to work out as well. So like I understand people's
Mm-hmm.
schedules are like all over the place, and
Yeah.
but also it's like figuring out your own schedule and like what works for you. I feel like that's like the
Yeah.
main thing when it comes to sleep, and also like when doing so, making sure that your sleep schedule is actually like up there with like your life, like your school life, your
Yeah.
work life, everything. Because like without it, you can't even do those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely. So, what's your optimum schedule before you go to sleep? What kind of things do you like to do?
Before I go to sleep, I like to play with my cat. She's very active, and that's like something that she likes to play hide and seek, and she's really smart, and she likes to play fetch. She's like a dog, and she likes to like to run around the house, and it's like so cute and funny. And then we both let out a little bit of our energy at the end of the day. Another thing I like to do, I'm in a drawing class, so I like to just zone out a little bit and just kind of like just start drawing. Also do some sketches for my other classes, doing like logo
Mm-hmm.
sketches, but like not doing so without having any like electronic around me, not even having music on, not having my laptop around, especially my laptop. Like I've grown to hate my laptop so much during the semester. Like I've grown to hate it so much. So like if I have any time to leave it closed, it's like thrown under. I don't want to see it. Um, so yeah, I try to do that. It's really hard to not go on your phone at the end of the day because it's just
Yeah.
like okay,
Mm-hmm.
you have time to wind down, time to get on TikTok, time to get on YouTube, time to like watch like you see that notification, time to watch that, get on Instagram, go check out stories, and just like you know what, like it's like really hard, but I try to not do that, and I try not to go on those apps really late at night because I can for me like I can get stuck into it for like an hour or like 2 hours,
Yeah.
or I'm watching YouTube videos and watching one of my favorite YouTubers, or
Mm-hmm.
um stuck on TikTok like just scrolling. That's all you're doing, like scrolling. And um I've tried reading, but like I'm the type of person where I'm too curious because if I get sleepy, I'm gonna make myself stay awake in order to finish the part of the story because I want to know what's going on. I know you
Yeah.
like to read, so like, do you read before going to bed?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely. I think I read about one book every week. So that's a challenge to uphold, honestly. And you know, instead of keeping a bookcase full of books, I utilize the Kindle, and so it has a very neat blue light filter,
Mm-hmm.
which helps reduce that exposure, especially late in the evening, which really helps me keep my sleep schedule intact. But if I'm reading otherwise without using the Kindle, I use blue light glasses that have the blue light filter.
Yeah.
So any way to reduce that.
Yeah.
So that's very neat.
Yeah, I think Kindle is such a smart device. Like it's
Mhm.
such a genius device because
Yeah.
also like with the blue light filters, it's like so important. Like I'm wearing blue light
Mhm.
glasses. I also wear contacts, and when you wear contacts for all day, like your eyes get so dry, and once it's time to sleep, it's just like oh finally I get to like relax my eyes, and I feel like that's so important that like it's just so new. Also like the whole like blue light, all these things coming out, trying to like to protect our eyes, even our skin,
Mhm. Yeah.
from it. And it's like so crazy uh, that that's something that can like harm us in a way. And it can also
Mhm.
um, and also like just like keeping your phone brightness on so high, also
Yeah.
at night.
Definitely.
It can like it's just like it's so bad. Like it can cause you have migraines and headaches and everything.
Mm.
So that's like one
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Another thing is that it also depends on the book that I'm reading. If it's something easy like J.K. Rowling or Cecilia Ahern, I can get a pretty good night's sleep because you don't have to think much about it.
Hmm.
But other times, if you pick up someone like Plato or Aristotle, you spend like half the night wondering what he was even talking about. So that's,
Yeah, that's
you know,
another thing.
so
I feel like reading things, doing stuff that like that calms you down will like help you stay like that, like when you go to sleep, but also when you wake up the next morning. You'll be in a better
yeah,
state, in a better mood. Um you'll be in just like not so like groggy in the morning.
yeah.
Like I hate that feeling so much.
Mhm,
Like feeling like, oh, I did not get enough sleep. Why didn't I just sleep more? Why didn't I just put my phone away? Like I hate that feeling so much.
mhm,
So I feel
definitely.
like that's also important. Just like not doing things that like make you think too much, because for me, like I'll stay up hours just like trying to figure out what this means.
Mhm, yeah.
So that's something else that I've utilized was like Spotify has so many playlists for like
Mhm,
calming music, and music doesn't have lyrics. I feel like that's like also important because so you're not thinking about it.
yeah.
And also something that Spotify has is actually where you can set a timer. So
Oh.
if you keep your phone on or anything, it'll just automatically turn off after the set amount of minutes that you put it for. um
Mhm,
and also something else, so like so you can use like electronics for like your benefit, and I feel like that's like so important for people to know that you don't have to go on your phone, you don't have to have your phone to go on Instagram and all these social media
mhm,
apps and get lost into it. Like you can actually use it for your benefit. Like you can actually set a bedtime on your clock. If you have,
mhm,
I don't know, an iPhone, you can set a bedtime on your clock and also put everything on Do Not Disturb. So having your notifications on Do Not Disturb is really helpful, especially when you have Discord chats with school,
mhm.
because people they'll stay up and it's just like
Yeah.
constant notifications. Also, just like other things as well. Just like kind of just like turning everything off at the end of the day, and doing so like you can actually just like fully relax. You don't have to think about school. You don't have to necessarily think
Mhm.
about work at that moment. And just like
Yeah, it's definitely
yeah,
yeah, it's definitely addicting, the constant need to verify and check for information all the time. I think that's a problem that is very exclusive to our generation, keeping on top of things all the time. Yeah. So, in order to relax, what kind of things do you like to do apart from Spotify music?
um, to relax, like I love having a night routine. Um, like bedtime hygiene is such a big thing. And before going to sleep, it's just like doing that like a nice skincare routine and putting on your moisturizer, lotions, exfoliating, putting on a mask, and just chilling out before going to sleep. Really,
Mhm,
just getting yourself like just like ready to go to
mhm.
bed. Sometimes taking a hot shower also helps,
Yeah,
and getting
definitely.
dressed to go to sleep, like wearing your favorite pajamas,
Mhm.
doing stuff like that. I feel like that's so important. Also, because like, have you ever slept in your like regular clothes to bed and you just wake up and it's like the most horrible thing ever?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like it's literally
definitely.
the most horrible feeling ever. And just like wearing your favorite pajamas, wearing your favorite t-shirt, pajama pants,
Mhm,
just really just getting yourself ready for bed. Sometimes
mhm.
drinking like a non-caffeinated tea or something hot
Yeah.
can also help, and just really just calming yourself down before you like fully
Mhm,
unwind, like the whole unwinding process. Like I feel like trying to like go to sleep like that, just like getting to bed, just sometimes does not work for everyone. Does not work for me. Like I need to do like a bunch
mhm.
of steps beforehand. Um, so yeah, having like a full on unwinding process where it involves like a skincare routine, bath time routine, and all that. I feel like that has really helped me try to get good sleep
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. I take a warm shower at least an hour before bed and, winding down the factors where external noises might come in, shutting out all windows, all
Mm-hmm.
doors, regulating the temperature. I prefer my bed really cold. I don't know if that's the same with you, but I really like the cold environment, and it helps, especially in in winter.
Hmm.
In summer, it's a different case. Yeah.
I know, I'm the same way. I don't like feeling like overly claustrophobic or hot when I'm in bed.
Mhm.
Like I like it cold, but I also like having a bunch of blankets on top of me. Just makes no sense,
Mhm.
but like it just makes sense to me, and that's like the only way I can sleep. Um, like another thing was, yeah, because like some people they like their beds to be fully warm. I'm just like no, that doesn't work. No, doesn't
Yeah.
work. Does not work for me. Yeah, and that's another thing. It's like for figuring out what helps you go to sleep in
Mhm.
order to
Yeah.
get that good sleep. In order to like, because like whatever you do the night before influences like the morning after. So like making sure you get good enough sleep and making sure that you're prepared also um, for the next morning as well. Like the night before, like preparing yourself for class. Like for me, I have to Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, Mondays and Tuesday, Thursdays are my drawing class in the morning. So I know Mondays and Wednesday nights I have to set up my whole drawing. I have to basically make a little drawing studio in the corner of my room, and just so I don't have to stress about that in the morning.
Mhm.
I feel like there's so much that you can do to de-stress yourself the night before in order to just feel like calm and collected in the morning. And I feel like just doing all these steps can like also like it helps and it really does.
Yeah, I definitely feel you then. I feel like one of the most important things that you can do to go through with a decision the next day is to actually make peace with the fact that you've made that decision yourself
Mm-hmm.
last night, so that you can actually go through with it tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So yeah, I just write notes, paste them on my drawer. So
Mm-hmm.
the first thing in the morning, I look at them and go, yeah, I have to do this tomorrow, or I have to do this today. So that helps.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps
That's
my
a good
mind
thing.
at
Yeah.
rest,
Yeah.
especially at night.
Exactly. Um, Also, when it comes to like I don't know, like for me, my room is like where I do my homework, work, and everything else. And I feel like there's like for a little bit there's like no sense of like balance where it's just like um, sometimes it was hard for me to sleep because this is where I do my schoolwork, and
Hmm.
there's like no like disconnection in a way. So I feel like that's for a lot of people that's what is causing a lot of these sleep issues. It's just like
Hmm.
my schoolwork is all in my face all the time, and it's just
Hmm.
like how can I not see this all the time and get a good night's sleep? And it's just like putting everything away, cleaning your desk, getting yourself prepped for tomorrow morning, having everything cleared off, making sure that your clothes are put away. That's like a hard one for me because like I try to get dressed fast. Everything's everywhere. I don't know where something's at. Stuff like that. My shoes, everything. So stuff like that is just like it can be somewhat like really detrimental to your day. Even though they can be so small, but they can still be so like detrimental.
Hmm. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. It's the aesthetics part of your room is really important when you want to get some sleep. Yeah. Especially making the bed.
Hmm.
I prefer my bed really, made, so to speak. I can't sleep in an untidy bed, and I just get the shivers whenever I think about it.
I know that's the thing. I used to like in the morning when school was in campus, I would like get up, get ready to go. I wouldn't even think about cleaning, like fixing my bed, doing all that. And once I've gone to do that, I was just like, wow, like this makes such a big difference. And
Hmm.
sometimes you just don't think about these things when you're busy and when you want to get when you need to get somewhere. But trying to like wake up early enough to get these things done, it kind of just takes off like this pressure that's on your shoulders. You're not thinking about it all day. You're not thinking about cleaning your room for the rest of your day. You're not thinking
Hmm.
about, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that. You have a clear mind when going through the day. So I feel like that's just like it's really helpful.
Definitely. Yeah. Hmm.
And also like trying to like tidy up your space. I don't know, for me like it helps like mentally with my mental health. it helps me like feel like, okay, like I did this and I feel so much better now. Like I feel like I can get anything done right now.
Hmm.
Once everything around me is clear, like I feel like I feel better.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like you've actually gotten something useful done, which makes you feel better, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty
And also
important.
just like, yeah, because like you're not thinking about it during the day anymore. Like you just got it done and that's it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Exactly, Blair. Clean room equals a clean mind.
Clean room
It's like
equals clean mind.
literally what I'm. Yeah.
That's very good.
Okay. Another thing was like um, trying to figure out like a good balance within like a schedule. Like I feel like that's like probably the hardest things to do, especially when you're a school student and you also work and
Mm.
you're also just like trying to get everything done. It's just like how can I figure out a good schedule for myself? Something that a professor would always tell us, like she was somebody who hates morning classes. She does not like to join morning classes when she was a student. She was somebody who liked to sleep in until 10 o'clock a.m. and have a class at 11:15 a.m., which is like, that's like her preference. And she was telling us how like if you know yourself and you know that you like to sleep in a little bit and you know that you don't like to take a morning class, then don't do it. But then
Mm.
sometimes it's like those things are inevitable. Like you can't like sometimes you have to take a class and it is in the morning. And just like what's like what do you do now? It's like you have to start making choices like, oh, like I'm taking a morning class now. I need to sleep a little bit earlier at night. I can't stay up until like 12 a.m. like
Mm.
doing random things around the house. Like I need to set a time for me to actually start unwinding down and start going to sleep in order to wake up early. um I feel like that's like something where it's like sometimes I'm like that. I'm like, oh, I'm fine, I'll wake up, and you end up sleeping in past your alarm clock and just like you get all stressed out and frantically try getting ready and everything, and just like I hate that feeling, so I'm just like, no, if I have a morning class, I need to sleep early. um
Yeah.
and ever since I started doing that, I just like I gotten so much better at time management. I feel like that's like another thing where it's like trying to manage your time, in order to get in a good enough sleep, in order to get your work done, in order to do everything. And I feel like sometimes right now you're in a house, like I'm in a house with a full family. A lot of stuff can be distracting,
Mhm.
a lot. So just like sometimes it's just like finding your own space, finding your own um, like trying to find your own time and space in order to do everything. I feel like
Yeah.
it's really important.
Hmm. Yeah. Definitely. One thing, you know, I'm not sure if you can call this exclusive, but I really like to talk, at least get 5 minutes of conversation with everybody in my house before I go to sleep, because conversation is really stimulating. And when you've gotten that down with the members of your family, you just feel so much better in mind. So I'm not sure if you do this, but I really like to do that,
Yeah,
honestly.
like when I'm like I try not to stay in my room all day because like I can't stay in this space for more than 5 hours at a time. I can't do it. So at the end of the day, I like around like 5 o'clock, let's just say, or when my last class ends, I try to take everything downstairs to my house and I try to do all my work downstairs. So I try to like I have like everyone around me and everything. So one if I do feel like it gets distracting, then I just come back upstairs and I start working again. Because sometimes changing your own environment can be really helpful.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
and also just like having like people around you can also be helpful, just for like a couple like moments or like an hour or two. Just like
Hmm.
being able to be around your family, be around people, can help a lot. And um, also like yeah, how you said like having conversations with people around you.
Hmm.
Right now it's like that's like sometimes it's really hard to do. Like you can't just like go see your friend. You can't go do that. So with the people around you, like telling them, like especially at the end of the day, like telling them like good night, or just telling
Yeah.
them like have a good night or something like that. Like or even just like having that conversation, like that can just it can
Yeah.
really help.
Hmm. Yeah, you just know that. everything's all right
Mm-hmm.
for today, and you know that they're gonna be there for you tomorrow. So yeah, peace of mind,
Mm-hmm.
man, that's really important.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's like constantly like to have those like good thoughts, especially like before you actually go to sleep, thinking about everything good that's gonna happen, everything that's uh going to happen like for the next day, to think positively, even though there might be something that's like really nerve wracking, something that's like going to like drive you crazy or anything else. Like trying to have good thoughts and be and have those going through your mind, you will wake up with a better state of mind. um I
Yeah.
was like always, so like I was in a interpersonal communications class, and I was someone that like hated presentations. Like I hated presentations. So like when you have a presentation to do in class and the next day, um I would constantly think, oh, I'm gonna mess up, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to stutter, I'm going to do everything. And I'm just like, who cares? Honestly, like who cares? I'm going to stutter. Who cares? I'm going to mess up. It's okay. Like I'm not the only
Yeah.
person going to do that. And I would like just like beat myself up, and I would lose sleep because of that. And once you lose sleep and you have a presentation the next day, it's just like you're obviously going to like mess up on something. Like you're gonna be like half asleep presenting, and you're gonna forget everything. So one I no I remember when I would like really try to like no, like you're gonna do fine, and to think positive. Like I remember after that, all my presentations were really like they were good, and my my professor was like, wow, like you progressed a lot. I was like, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy for you. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
But
confidence.
yes, exactly. It's like having confidence, and I feel like that can happen now. It's just like in your classes, a lot of people don't like to talk on Zoom, and I
Yeah.
feel like that can keep. I know some people like they don't really like it, and that's the thing that actually like keeps them up at night in a way. Where it's just like, okay, tomorrow we're gonna have like a critique on our drawings, and that's like where everyone looks at them and we'll have to present it. I have a friend, and she's like really really shy, so like being on Zoom was like a nightmare for her, and it's like probably a nightmare for everyone else. But I just like I always try to tell her that it's like it's okay. Like we're all in this together. We're all having issues. We're all none of our drawings are perfect. Everything is gonna be okay. And in doing so, I always try to like remind her that like because I've taken so many classes with her art classes, and we've always like taken them together. And I always try to remind her that it's basically just like we're in a regular classroom. Just like imagine that me and you are standing next to each other on the critique.
Yeah.
I always try to do that. And um, yeah, because I don't know for you, like, has like anything like that ever like kept you up at night where it really like caused you to struggle to fall asleep?
Uh, when the when the midterm exam results are due tomorrow, like, oh no, or that week, I'm like, no, sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep can, get out of my mind for this week or the next week. I just can't sleep, you know, during those times. Other times when I've got, assignments due and I'm thinking how I did, those things just keep me up at night, honestly. But
Yeah.
one one thing that I found is really interesting to me is using the Calm app. Have you heard of it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One specific track is by Matthew McConaughey, and his voice is so soothing.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's not easy to keep awake when you're listening to him because he's got that southern drawl, very smooth, and it's kind of indicative of our uh, adherence or preference to listen to bedtime stories even since we were kids, and it's still continuing to today. So that's very interesting to me.
Yeah, the Calm app, as it's like it's such a cool app. But I'm like that as well. Like if I listen to like somebody telling me a story, I'm gonna want to stay awake and want to know what happens next. This is why like I can't like I don't have a TV in my room because I just
Mhm.
no. I try not to bring like my iPad or laptop with me to bed either because I don't want to stay up watching anything, or like just watching my favorite show or watching YouTube videos and all that stuff. So it's just like, um, if I'm listening to a story, I know I'm gonna want to stay awake and want to know more about it. But there's like other things as part of the app that are really cool. So I need to check it out more. I need to look more into it because I know that it can be really helpful. Um,
Yeah.
and then um, and that's another thing. There's like a lot of Spotify playlists where I just like I'm not the type of person that likes to listen to those calming music where it's like birds chirping into your ear like really loudly, like screaming. I just know it's like no, that's not help me go to sleep. Or it's like sometimes even if like those wave crashing ones where it's just like really loud, like no, it doesn't work. I honestly don't know how people go to sleep with it on. Like I can't.
Yeah.
Or like animal noises. It's just like I feel like the animals are right outside my window.
Right next to you.
No, no, thank you. Yeah, that's another thing. I have to keep my window closed at night because I really can't handle like any outside noises while I'm trying to go to sleep. 'Cause I'm just like, who's there? Like, there's automatic panic that goes off in me.
Yeah. Your self-preservation instincts just kick in
Yeah,
almost immediately.
exactly. I'm just like, no. Like I like, right. So I've tried to keep it open for like fresh air, and like once I heard like there was like a raccoon or a skunk that was outside. I heard it. I run and I slammed the window closed. I'm just like, no, I can't handle it. I really can't. Um, I can't deal with the whole um, noise thing outside. But something that um, like some days where like I really can't sleep, I'll like put on a show that I've watched like millions of times. So like I already have it all memorized. So I don't have to pay attention to it. I'll sometimes have it on as like just like a little background noise.
Yeah.
Uh, for a lot of people, they can't do that. They can't have background noise. Um, if it's something that I've already watched a million times, I already know everything that's like about it and everything. It's like I don't care. I don't care to like pay attention to it. So that sometimes also like helps me um, during my unwinding routine, where just like I'm putting on a mask, doing this, um, and all that. Like having something on that I've already watched a bunch of times that I know that makes me happy. Um, it helps me a lot. And like I don't know if you ever heard of this show. It's called A Different World. It's like from the late '90s, early 2000s. So it's like my favorite show, and I've watched it so many times. And that's like my one show that like makes me happy. And I'll have it on, it just like as like just background noise, just like just listening, and not really caring what's going on, but just listening. And,
Yeah. Yeah, the repetition really helps because you've already got it ingrained in your mind what's gonna happen, so you don't have to think much about it. Yeah, I get that.
yes. It's also really cool because Sleep Awareness Week is actually coming up. So it's actually cool that
Yeah.
we're actually talking about sleep awareness, and then it's coming up soon. Um, which I feel like it should be like a really important like thing to like talk about because like um, sometimes people do view sleeping in sometimes as like being lazy, but sometimes you just need that rest in order to function because everyone's
Yeah.
different. No one can just run on like 6 or 8 hours of sleep. Like not everyone's the same. Sometimes people need like 10 hours of sleep in order to function, in order to like to do like their daily activities. So I know that sometimes people are like, I don't know, in some households or cultures or anything, they view like sleeping in as like, oh, you're so lazy, stuff like that. But that's not the case. When you have
Yeah.
like a full work schedule and you're full time like a school like a student, that rest is like it's so precious because it's like you feel like so revived and refreshed and everything. And also, like, sometimes if you feel like you need to take a nap, take a nap. Like, listen to your body and what you feel like needs to be done. Like, listen if you need to take like a 15-minute nap, then take it. Rest your eyes. Like, that's a big thing for me. Sometimes if I'm having a really bad day where like I'm staring at my screens too much, my eyes are feeling really strained. I have on my contacts. I have my blue light glasses, taken off my contacts for at least like 10, 15 minutes in a day, putting in like eye drops that like helps refresh my eyes and everything. That's like something that helps me go forward. And also like, because I feel like not everyone, like a lot of people take naps. I'm not somebody who like takes a nap every single day, in which like I wish I was because I feel like it would be so helpful. But like when you don't get enough sleep, you get like migraines and headaches, and your eyes can't even function. Like you can't even like stare at something for too long without feeling like this full on strain. And I feel like there's like I don't know, like not a lot of people like talk about that. Um, where it's like you need rest in order, you need a good sleep in order for your body to fully rest and your
Yeah,
body to be
definitely,
fully refreshed for like the next day.
definitely. Yeah, thinking about sleep talking about sleep makes me think about some individuals who happen to go without it for extended periods of time. Like I read that Elon Musk, when he was setting up his
Oh
companies,
yeah, I read about this.
he slept like how many hours was it?
Forgot, but
You
it was
know,
not even that much.
yeah, every week, like it was in the single digits.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like that's why he's Elon Musk,
Yeah.
and that's the reason we are now.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I've heard also is Jeff Bezos taking like 40-minute naps
Mm-hmm.
in an interval of 2 hours every day. You know, that's almost superhuman, honestly. Like
Yeah.
willing yourself to go to sleep almost immediately. So yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and that's like another thing where it's like there's so many debates about like public schools starting too early in the day,
Mm,
where like our brain doesn't really function until like 10 o'clock in the morning or like 10:30 in the morning. And
mhm.
so when you have like a when people kids or kids in school, whatever, in high school, college, when they have morning classes and they're not fully like awake and functioning, it's like how are they going to be taking in information? So that was like a
Yeah.
huge debate that I read about as well. Just like, should public schools or should schools even allow classes before 10 a.m.? Which is like so interesting.
Mhm.
What do you think about that?
Well, in my case, it was rather difficult for me to retain information throughout the entire day because in the morning it's a different case
Mm-hmm.
because you are awake in that sense, but as the day goes on, your mind sort of detracts or gets distracted from the actual content that's being taught in class. So, that gets difficult and you have to revisit that class a lot of times in order to retain the same amount of information. So yeah, I think there's some points of credibility, in that debate that you shouldn't have to take classes so early.
Yeah.
Not everybody's equal in that case, but I can say for myself that it was difficult for me.
Yeah, because some
But
people they really do enjoy taking a morning class. Like I'm somebody that
mhm,
likes to take a morning class. I like to get the class done, and I tend to be fully awake at least by like 8:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the
mhm,
morning. So I feel like that's like it's different for everyone. Like imagine trying to make someone not take a class in the morning. That makes sense.
yeah,
Because like I know some people in high school that love taking zero period, and they're just like fully awake and alive in the morning. But like that's
mhm,
something I couldn't personally do. Um, like being in a classroom at like 6 o'clock in the morning or anything, like no, that was like a no for me. But uh, I don't know, like it's like I found that really interesting, where it's just like people, not everyone functions the same. But
yeah,
like when it comes to public schools, it's just like they're kind of like enforcing, okay, you have to be awake at this time, you have to be awake at what is it, like at least 7 o'clock in the morning, and you have to
mhm.
fully be fully functioning at this time.
Yeah, no exceptions.
Exactly, exactly. And then
Yeah,
if you're late to class, it's like you have to deal with the detention and stuff like
mhm,
that. So, and that's like
yeah,
another thing that's like so different with Zoom. There's like some people who are falling asleep on Zoom because like if you're inside your room and you have your bed next to you, like so comfortable and everything. That's the thing. Like I try not to do anything on my bed, where like, that's like school related because I know I'll probably literally knock out if I do that. But a lot of people, they don't necessarily have a choice, and they don't have a desk. They don't have another space in their house where like they could just go, and so they just have to go and be on their bed. And a lot of the times, people will like have their camera on and they'll fall asleep on Zoom, and then just like they're not paying attention to their class. They're probably going to have to like stay after, ask what's going on, have to ask what's happening. So it's just like when you don't get a good enough like a good enough sleep at night, you can't focus during the day, and like it's like so crazy because when that happens, you especially in a class, especially in a college class, you're missing so much information, and not a lot of Zoom professors record, so you can't really just go back, and you can't really just go back in time and like, oh my gosh, I missed everything, I missed what you
Yeah.
said about the assignment. And like for me, like even though the assignments will be up on Beachboard or whatever it is, there's like always going to be additional information that you're going to need to know. And what if you don't even have contacts to anyone that's in the class?
Yeah.
It's like where do you go from there? And just like
Mm-hmm.
that's where you have to start making choices, like before you go to sleep. Like, okay, I need to go to sleep at this time, and so just so I can wake up and be up and ready and focus for my class.
Yeah, definitely. Hmm. I feel like the current choice that they're providing you, the Zoom only online classes,
Yeah.
might alleviate some of the problems
Mm-hmm.
because you basically have a 24-hour window of doing the assignments or the homeworks or the classes that they're providing you and going over that information.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, I feel like students can, relax a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly have used that to my advantage. I've basically set up my own schedule so I don't have to adhere to any rules or schedules that they may have set. So yeah, that's pretty important. So, sleep is our proverbial fountain of youth,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, both physically and mentally. So
True, so true,
mhm,
honestly. So,
mhm,
yeah, and that's another thing. It's like, so like when you don't have a good enough sleep, you wake up and you're already like exhausted, tired. You're ready to take another 5 hours sleep, but you have class, so you have to make the choice. Do I just not go to class and be absent, or do I go to class and not focus?
mhm,
Um, and then within that, it's just like, okay, I don't want to be absent because when you're absent in college, that's like a huge thing. You can't be absent
mhm,
like more than 3 times for most classes. And it's just like usually like I try to save those days for when I'm really sick or when I physically
mhm,
can't like go to like be on my laptop. So that's like another thing. It's just like figuring out again like your schedule and like what works for you. And again like with Zoom classes, it's just like it's in a way it can be like good in a way where it's just like okay like after this class I don't have to drive home, I can just like relax for a little bit like
mhm.
because like you're literally in the same area as like your bed, so like I can
Yeah.
just take a little 10-minute rest.
Mhm,
That's like if you do that responsibly and not like go ahead and take like a full-on like 8 hour nap and like skip your other class and all that stuff. So I feel like it just like has to be have your own like set like discipline rules,
mhm,
and um just like trying to figure out what really like works for you. Especially with like doing Zoom, it's like even I don't know, it's like it's really hard to say because sometimes it's like hard to not get rest, but also in a way it's just like okay, I get to lay back a little bit. I don't have to drive an
mhm.
hour
Yeah.
back home, or like I don't have to drive back an hour to school. But it's also just like you're constantly in your own like workspace in a way. So just like trying to create that balance, that's like it's really difficult to do.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, and I think that's it. Um, So everyone that is here, please, I would love for all of you to check out Connect OC's Instagram, Connect_OC, and please press the link on the bio to do the survey. And once you do the survey, you will be receiving an Amazon gift card.
Yeah, everybody, take advantage of that free Amazon gift card.
I know it's an Amazon gift card, and also you'll be
Yeah.
helping. So I would really appreciate it. We would both really appreciate it.
Definitely.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.